We're back. We're back again. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can hear me.
the sound is fine, I reckon.
Yeah, we're back. It's been a long time, and my voice is coming back. So I'm trying to be coming back here and annoying the hell out of everybody on a daily basis.
Nah, fuck this, bro. Welcome back, everyone, to the
Yeah.
True City Fan TV. I reckon. I hope you all well. Yeah. And I hope you all having a
Lovely afternoon.
wonderful summer. Well, the summer's just started. It's been very hot. The last few weeks. This week's been all right, to be fair, but
It's been good though.
yeah, football's off. World Cup starts in about 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The
but I
friendlies,
hope you all
the
well.
friendlies
Make
are
sure
there.
you like and subscribe to the channel. Road to 5K is upon us.
Yeah.
And yeah, Maresca hasn't been announced yet, but
That's mad. It's mad.
yeah.
I'm pissed off.
But
I
make sure
wanted.
you like and subscribe to the channel as well. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the
If
channel.
you love Maresca,
Viva Maresca. My Italian manager, come on, G.
wait, that's Mancini, Maresca, isn't it? Yeah. So do Italian managers. Just good.
Yeah. To be fair, I think we need it because Pep's still legally Pep's still on the contract until I think it's June 31st.
Oh, so he's still the manager.
No, he's still on the contract until end of this month. So yeah, I think there is I think there is a timeline where clubs announce their new manager. That's why you see Xabi Alonso hasn't been announced yet as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we just need to nah man, Maresca we trust, bro. Come on.
Trust. Look,
In Maresca
me and
we trust.
Matthias,
Yeah, man.
we'll have those hats. Maresca with us. Make
Yeah, man.
Man City
I'm
great
gonna
again.
get Maresca top very soon just to piss off the whole fan base.
Make Man City great again.
Yeah, man. You know me. I like to piss off everyone. Do that for a living. But yeah,
So, how are you
big
feeling?
up Patrick, man.
How are you feeling?
We haven't done a show in a while, have we?
No, we haven't. It's
Yeah.
it's been Steve, what's Steve, Kels, or you do one yourself, but I'm not there.
My son is in the background having a fight with his snacks and whatnot. And let me help
Is
him
it?
out. He's trying to open this. He's having a fight with it. But yeah, as I say, make sure you like the video, man. We're gonna go through the comments. I don't know what Patrick wants to talk about. I think I believe it's about Maresca because there's quite a lot talks on Maresca within the fan base. Some people are pro Maresca, other people are against it. Some people think Maresca is a scrub. Other thinks that we need to just give him time. He's a new manager, see what he can do. But we're gonna have a nice chat, man. We're gonna have a nice chat. Make sure you drop your comments so we can read
There's
it.
a lot. I had a message from my transfer guy, so I hope he's not buffering.
Who is your transfer guy? Hamza.
No, there's a guy who used to send me random transfer messages. So he just sent me one. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm drinking me wine, by the way. I'm drinking me red wine.
I'm drinking water.
It's just, nah. I've drank enough water this morning.
So, where do we start? Because, man, think about it. You and me have been saying this team doesn't need midfielders. I thought about it. We don't. Think about it.
Hmm.
Think deeply. Because Nunes is a number 8. O'Reilly, number 8. Tijani, attacking midfielder. Foden, 8, attacking. Nkochi, 8, 6. Rodri, 8, 6. That's it. A lot of midfielders, man. So
Hmm.
what are we
I think
buying?
I reckon we do need a midfielder.
Profile, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I reckon we need someone who is defensive minded, but
Hmm.
but also very technical on the ball.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But I reckon we do need a midfielder, because I like Nunes, but let's face it, half of the fan base he thinks he's not good enough in the midfield. So there you go.
Yeah, but come on. If we're being serious, I would rather start counting Nunes as a midfielder. That's on a serious note.
But we need a right back, don't we?
Yeah. Like, okay, we have to stop hiding number 8s as fullbacks. We
Yeah,
have to stop.
yeah. That's something we need to stop doing. It.
Yeah. We've done it since Fabian Del, Zinchenko. We've been taking midfielders, hiding them. So, I don't know, man. So,
What do you reckon of the squad as it stands, right? Without any sort of transfer. Obviously, we've got players on loan that are
no,
coming back, the
it's
likes
not
of
bad.
Jack Grealish, Victor Reyes, Cheve-
It's not a bad midfield. I think so. It's good enough. Because guys, come on. We have Echeverry coming back, Jack Grealish, which I welcome back. We have Napon. Don't forget, Napon plays for the club. I don't know. It's just some people are being too dramatic. It's not a bad squad. It's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah. You don't need to start buying, oh, we need this one. We need that one. We just need actual fullbacks, especially right
Yeah,
hand side. Because we've got Nori. I still rate
yeah,
him.
yeah.
So
No,
maybe,
I agree. I agree.
what about
And that
wingers?
and that's probably why I'm very skeptical in going to this season with the players that we have, plus a right back, adding a right back in there, and see what Maresca can, if he can get the best out of these players, playing them in the right position.
Yeah,
Because I don't believe Eight Nori has been bad this season. He's actually been very good left back,
he hasn't. Oh,
but got putting O'Reilly as a left back, it worked to an extent, but he's a midfielder.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So we have to start playing players in their right positions, but at the same time, I don't think Maresca needs to come in and do a madness. I think
no,
he just needs to make a few tactical tweaks, get one or two players in, and run with the squad. And if we start seeing the same performance from the same players
mm,
that we saw under Pep, then at least we can sit down, right? Okay, it didn't work under Pep. It didn't work
it's not working at the Maresca.
it didn't work under Maresca. We need to get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? Because the way these players, some of these players were utilized this season, they were not comfortable in
They're
the
not,
position they were being played in,
not.
and in the task that they were asked to do, there wasn't. We were creating we created a system, and we started getting asking the players to get the best out of the system rather than create a system that the players can get best out of themselves. That
Yeah,
a system that can get the best out of the players.
unnecessary pressure was
Yeah,
given to.
that's why you say, "Oh, we miss Rodri. With
Yeah,
this system only working with Rodri. Oh, Bernardo can only play well with Rodri next to him." Do you know what I mean? It does not make sense. You can't have a
people,
system that
there was
only certain
lies.
players
There was a lot of
can
lies.
actually play. You know what I mean? You can't. You've
Yeah,
got a squad of 24 to 25 players. You cannot build a system where only six of them can play.
Nah,
It
I
is
wasn't
a
happy.
recipe for disaster. Listen, at the end of the day, we have some good players. We've seen what players like Reinders can do, what he cannot do,
I rate
and
him
what and
highly.
players like Nico Gonzalez, for example, we
Mm.
just a case of get the best out of them. Because
You know what?
listen,
Reinders was hard done by. You bring him in and you want to play him as a DM. Nah,
yeah.
that
You
was
see, that's the
mad.
thing. We kind of misprofile quite a lot of players. Especially for example, when we signed Reinders, I remember we signed Reinders, we went to the Club World Cup, and
Mm.
Pep had this idea that he can play in the six. And he was playing in the six in the Club World
But
Cup. Roger
Reinders,
was playing.
Reinders didn't want
Roger
to.
was playing for 60 minutes. He was coming off. He wasn't bring Nico G in there. Tijani
Yeah,
Brander was going straight to the six, and
yeah.
he was playing well in that position in the Club World Cup.
I'm not
But in the
comfortable.
Premier League, it's different.
Mm.
Why is different? Because the Premier League is a lot long balls. You have to win the duels. You have to win the second balls,
Mm.
and he's not a player that can do that.
He can't.
So we gone into the Premier League season with a Pep's comment in our mind that the Johnny Ryan is going to be this player that can play in the six, that is going to
Yeah. Mm.
be doing the defensive work. And when he started playing and we didn't see that defensive minded player, we deemed him not good enough. Do you know what I mean? But if you look at the Johnny Ryan stats when he was AC Milan, he
Mhm.
wasn't a dual winner type of player.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
He was someone who is good at making runs in behind, crossing the box and whatnot.
Behind the striker.
Yeah, listen, he needs to improve in his shooting, that's for sure,
Mm.
because he's been killing a lot of birds in that lot of stadium he's been like he played up. Do you know what I mean? He skied the ball way too much sometimes, but I like Grinders. Listen, mate, I think he's a very, very good player, and I'm willing to give him a second season.
Mm.
Yeah. Listen, same with the new signings. Even Savia to an extent.
Cherokee needs to improve concentration for 90 minutes because sometimes, like on and off, you can't do that at the same moment. You can't.
I think with Czech is a bit different. I don't see Czech as a number 10,
Yeah.
not a midfielder. The only reason with the way Czech plays
Mm.
is
Inside forward.
he holds on to the ball too much sometimes. He gives
Like,
he gives
like
the ball
Grealish.
way too many
Sound like
touches
Grealish.
before he releases the ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like what Pep said. Remember when Pep said at the beginning, the first half of the season, I like the
Mm.
simple things. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that comment applied to Cherky. You don't need to have a billion touches on the ball before you release to your attacking players. And
That's true.
if you go back to in the last few games of the season, the only reason he got benched is because he was losing the ball a lot in the midfield.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when you're a midfielder, you need to remember that, especially against opposition that, especially in the last 10 minutes of the game, where the opposition is going to start pressing you because
Mm.
they're trying to score, you have to release the ball quicker. One touch, bang, pass the ball. Do you know what I mean? But he wasn't doing that.
Do you
Listen,
remember what
he's young
KDB,
and he's got to learn.
KDB said? You have to think in the Prem, you have to think of your two moves before you get the ball, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But he's been good this season. Let's face it. He's been a good signing.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's why I think Pep Guardiola, I don't want to, okay, I want to say this. He had a lot of blood in his hands because he played a lot of players where he's not supposed to play them. And let's be honest, this was to compensate for Bernardo Silva. Simple as. That's what it was to. So Silva, sure on him. Because I'm telling you, I will play a lot of number 8s where Silva was before Silva. And it was going to look good. Really forget about that. Forget about it.
Yeah, I think the Bernardo Silva situation here, listen, I think I've talked a lot about him,
You
and
have for days.
yeah, and the Bernardo Silva got to a point where I just gave up because he's the player that he trusts. It's the same with Rodri. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when Rodri had that second injury in the last game of the season,
Mm-hmm.
you could see that he didn't trust Nico G.
Yeah.
He trusts Nico G against Everton, and Nico G was really really poor against Everton. But
Yeah, but
so was the whole
that was happening a long time.
which
He left him on the bench for a long time.
yeah. That see the thing is when you've been benching a player for 4 months and then Roger goes out injured, yeah, he goes out with an injury, and you put that player back in there, and you can't expect him to put a 10 out of 10 performance.
You can't.
He's not match fit. Let's face it. You might play him in an FA Cup, but an FA Cup is only one game a month.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And then
Oh,
if you based on his poor performance against Everton, Bernardo Silva was poor against Everton. It was
yeah.
really poor. He was worse than Nico J. Gahey was poor against Everton. Semenyo was atrocious against Everton. He was keep falling off
Ridiculous.
on the ball. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone was poor against Everton, apart from Doku and
Yeah.
Haaland, and probably Kovacic when he came on. But even Kovacic off the ball was poor against Everton.
Mm.
So you can't really base on the Everton performance to judge Nico G. Whilst you've seen players that playing week in week out and they're dropping stinkers after stinker. See, that's the thing. It's a circle of trust. That's why I kind of gave up speaking about Bernardo. But at the same time, um, this is going to be a very interesting summer in a way because we have to albeit we focus on bringing players in and then moving some players out. We also need to thinking about renewals
Yeah.
because we've got a few players that are going to the last 2 years of their contract that are very important for this team, i.e. Josko Vardio and Jeremy Doku.
But another thing, loyalty. This goes to Rodri. He's too loyal to the World Cup than us. You notice that? He's more loyal. And the thing is, the contract. This is what the guy told me. They've had a contract on his table for so long. What is he waiting for? What is he waiting for? Get it?
I think with Rodri is an interesting one because I think Rodri I think Roger has won everything that he wished he
Okay.
wanted to win
The
in
one.
England. Do you know what I mean? Especially for Man City. And when you've
Yeah.
got Spanish player, especially the Spanish player in the last year of their contract, or in the last year of their career, they always seems to go back to their own country and play in their own league and retire in there. So for with Rodri, I don't really mind
I
what
think he's
decision he
waiting.
makes.
So
But at
he's
the
waiting.
same time, let's face it, Roger wants more money, right?
Fair. Fair.
Because because and it is rightly so, and I'll tell you why.
Mm.
So we went out there in January, and especially the last two January, we bought Marmoush and we pay Marmoush 295k a week.
Yeah.
The following January window, we went to get Gehi, and we are paying Gehi 200k a week fixed and plus 100k bonus. That's 300 grand,
That's
right?
madness.
Foden, who's been underperforming for the past 2 seasons, got a pay rise. It hasn't been announced yet, but got a pay rise of 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
You have Jack Grealish coming back to the club. We don't know the situation with Jack. We need to see
Yeah,
what
it's
Manchester
50,
thinks of
50,
him.
50.
He's on 300 grand. So looking out, we've got Haaland on to 500, well 550 now.
50, yeah.
Going to the new season is 550 because his wages goes 5% up every season. So
Yeah.
in 2 seasons ago, he was on half £500,000 a week for 500K a week. Last season he was on 525. This season coming is going to be on 550.
Okay.
So Rodri is a very important player for this team, right? He sees himself, whether you like it or not, he sees the club and himself see as one of the most important players to the team.
Which is fair.
So his wages needs to reflect on that.
Yeah.
You agree on that? His wage needs to reflect on that. So Rodri's looking at it. Rodri's on 220, I think, or 200. And when you see players like Jack Grealish on 300, who's a bench player, Foden on 300, who's been on the bench for the past 2 seasons, and been underperforming, and then you see Gehi on 300, right? Vardio is looking at, that's why probably Vardio is gonna have to sit down with the club. Vardio is looking at these players, right? I need more money because if I'm being seen as one of the future of this club in the defense as or one of the most important players for the team, I have to be in a wage that reflects my importance on the team.
Okay.
Doku is going to be the same. Let's face it, Doku is not going to accept being on 5K a week. Savinho is earning more than Doku.
Doku is on 70 or something.
No, Doku is on 50K.
Okay.
So Savinho is earning more than Doku. Doku right now, when you put in a lineup in there, Doku is one of the first name in the lineup. So he's got 2 years left until 2028. Well, 2020 now. He's got 2 years left, right? 2028. His agent's going to be sitting there, right? Either you give him a big pay rise and then his next deal, or they'll start putting his name out and link him with the lot teams like let's face it, Liverpool is there, Chelsea there, they can pay that money.
Everybody.
And Doku is happy Man City, but at the same time, he needs to look after himself. So
family.
we found ourselves in a situation where Semenyo got into the team and he's earning 3 times more than Doku.
Yeah.
Gay is in the team and he's earning more than Josko Vardio, right? And he's earning more than Josko Vardio and Rodri. Foden is underperforming and he's earning more than Rodri. So these players are looking at it, right? How important am I to this team? If I'm very important, then you have to pay me accordingly. So we look at our renewals this season, right? And then if you look at the players that we need to give them contracts, and there'll be massive contracts. Forget about John Stones and Bernardo, because them wages you've already given to Gehi and Semenyo and the pay rise to Diaz, Foden. Let's face it, right? The wage bill is going to go up, guys. The wage bill is going up big times. Let's face it, we still got 150K a week. Calvin Phillips, who he's not leaving the club until his contract runs out.
He's not.
All right. Now we've gave a small pay rise to Rico Lewis. Now 6 months ago. Now we're trying to sell him after we refusing for this offer last summer.
Madness.
Savio got a pay rise. Now we're trying to apparently now he's in talks with Tottenham. How true that is, I've got no fucking clue until I see it. So we just have to assume what Fabrizio and yada 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 out there are putting on the media. So now we've got
that guy says, that guy who sent me, he says the club is fighting it back. They want to sell.
People saying, sell Marmoush. You've signed Marmoush and you signed Marmoush and you put him on 295 grand a week. You can go out there, yeah, and sell Marmoush. There is no club that will pay the wages that Marmoush is on at this football club. You can sell and I'm going to tell everyone now. You can go out there and sell Marmoush to Aston Villa. Aston Villa can say, right, I can take the player, we can pay the fee, let's say 60 or 70 mil, but we're not paying his wages. We can only pay 150K a week. Marmoush got 4 years left in his contract. That's going to be down to Man City to pay the difference for the next 4 years. If you sell Marmoush to a different club and the club that he goes in pay him 150 grand a week, we will still have to pay him 145 grand a week for the next 4 years.
To cover up, yeah.
You know how insane that is? That you decide to go out there and buy a player in January, put him on a massive wage, more than was 4 times the wage he was in, yeah, and gave that player to the manager, and the manager never trusts that player.
What's going on? Cheeky.
Do you know what I mean? So this summer is going to be very interesting to see what the club is doing. That's why the club doesn't want to pay 100 million to Anderson. People think just pay the money, pay the money. This is not how the football works. You can't just go out there and throw 120 million, 100 million to Anderson, because you forget one thing. If Forest is asking for 120 million, the whole package will be nearly 200 million pounds. That includes signing on fee, agent fee, and let's be certain. If you paying an 120 million pound to a player, he's going to be in a massive contract.
It has to be.
Do you know what I mean? We paid Jack Grealish 100 million, and we have to put him on the 300 grand a week. If you're going to go out there and break the British transfer record to Anderson, you have to give him. He's going to ask for a bag.
He has to.
Why? Because Man United is interesting. Man United got the money with the Champions League now, and apparently Arsenal is interested in him. So that's not just going to be 120 million. That's why the club is going to be the same as, remember, Vert.
Yeah,
to a point where the club was like, no. The problem with Vert wasn't the transfer fee. It was the whole pack.
Yeah.
The whole package was too expensive. The reason why Man City is not going to go for 120 million is because they understand with the renewals that they need to sort it out in Josko Vardio, Doku, Rodri, and then Foden. And then you've got the Nunes in there in the mix. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Nunes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? O'Reilly's just got to pay. O'Reilly got last summer. O'Reilly's fine. But you've got the Nunes in there. Plus, that money, because let's face it, right? Probably the whole Anderson is the whole transfer budget.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got that much money to spend.
We don't.
Because we've spent 80 in January, which was Semenyo and Gay.
Then
unless we start selling some of these players.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see us selling that many players that people want.
No.
And then you've got the Trafford situation, because Trafford's on 75 grand a week. For a backup goalkeeper, that's a lot. And you've got your Donnarumma, he's on 250. And apparently you want Donnarumma out. Mate. I'm just looking at the whole situation, and that's why when people see Man City is not really willing to pay the money for, let's face it, Marinakis is going to play at hard balls with us. He's not going to sell it.
No, he doesn't want anything less than a transfer record. The club.
Yeah. So people just people need to calm down and understand that either you want to prioritize the renewals. Let's face it, because the higher wage bills goes, the less you're the higher is your wage bill, your transfer budget goes down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That is true.
What are we doing? Do we prioritize the renewals? I give announce Foden's contract, give Vardy a new deal, give them a document a new deal and a pay rise. Then you've got the Nunes in there, which is going. Let's face it, Nunes is not going to be too much, but and then on top of that, this is just the starting 11. You're trying to build a squad. What do we do with the rest of the squad? So it's going to be very interesting this summer, because the club has put themselves in a position where we went to. This is all been done for the lack of activity in the summer 2024.
Talking
The
about
position
that.
no, because summer 2024
Hmm.
we only brought in Savio.
Yeah.
We were dilly-dallying with Bruno
Gundogan.
Guimaraes,
Good Gundogan.
and then deadline day we decided to go right. Gundo got kicked out of Barcelona. Let's re-sign him and let's put him on 220k a week. 12 months later, washed. You gave him two years deal. Yeah, you only have him for 1 year. We have to terminate his contract, pay his compensation, and he was off to Turkey.
It's mad.
No. Remember, he had that clause if he made enough appearances, and Pep made sure he got the appearances, even though he was complete dog shit the whole second half of the season. He was absolutely terrible.
The lack of
no legs at all.
The lack of activity in the summer 2024 forced us have to go in January 25 and buy certain players, Marmoush, Nico G, Gusanov, Reis, and then 6 months later, none of the players that we bought, Pep Guardiola trusted. Gusanov only started playing when Diaz went out injured because Gusanov was in the bench for half of the season.
It's mad.
Let's face it.
That was the problem.
Marmoush was on the bench, and when Marmoush went to the AFCON, my players went to the AFCON, no one else. But he was there before the AFCON, but you were not using him. Nico G
didn't want to use any of the new players.
Was only playing because Kovacic was out injured with the surgery. Let's face it, because Nico G wouldn't be playing if Kovacic was fit.
Nah,
he was trust him.
So you have to wonder then, like,
so the whole transfer in January, when we spend 180 million pounds to bring in 4 players, 6 months later, none of the 4 players the manager trust, unless there was an injury on his favorite, so he had to play them. Now, when you think 12 months down the line, people want to sell Reinders, a new signing, want to sell Nico G, a new signing, want to sell Marmoush, a new signing. What are we doing here? It's like we're going to the market, paying us silly money, and then 6 months later, not good enough, sell them. And let's not forget, these players are massive wages.
Again, they were good enough.
Out on the massive wages. Because Marmoush is nearly on 300 grand a week.
Yeah. Oh.
He's looking at it. This is my biggest contract. I'm not gonna get this contract anywhere in the world. I'm gonna stick around.
No way.
It's the same with Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is 31-year-old. Why do you think Calvin Phillips doesn't want to go? He doesn't care about football. It's about the bag.
Well, that was on Tiki, remember? A lot of people are quick to blame Hugo Viana. Hugo Viana didn't sign Calvin Phillips, so
I think the blame is.
I know why he didn't. Hugo Viana didn't sign hardly anybody. I think you could say he started signing people last summer. But I think all those players have been good enough. I don't know why everybody just thinks Tijani is just total crap. I know he's not very physical, but the guy scores goals. You need goals to win games. Sorry, you do.
That's what Patrick and I said at the start of the video. You're on mute. We've got a very good group of players.
You know why? Our number 8's where he did. You know why.
Well, the thing is, we've got a very good group of players. But at the same time, right?
Yeah, this is accurate. Pep was beating dead horses. He was.
Because at the same time, right, we need to sort out the defense. Right now, we've got too many centre backs. Let's face it, we've got way too many centre backs.
Do we?
Because
we kind of had to, though, because remember, every year we keep having a centre back injury crisis. Every year now. Diaz is not reliable anymore. I know people don't want to hear it, but Diaz's injuries have picked up a lot the past 2 seasons to where,
if Diaz is not reliable anymore, right? Diaz had 2 years left in his deal until 2028. Why did you give him an extension?
Amen.
That's what I'm wondering.
And on more wages. Listen, Diaz's wage wasn't increased.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Diaz went from 240 to 275, which is not much.
But
But at the same time,
on 250. I could be wrong.
250 to 75. But at the same time,
Steve.
right? Listen, Diaz is not a problem. But I like Diaz and I want him to stay, and I think he's a very good.
I don't mind him too.
I think the issue is also that Stones was on 250. I think they tried to move him. He said, "I'm not leaving," and why would he? Because he just said, "I'm not going to give him my money up."
But right now we've got Gehi, Ake. We don't know what's happened with Ake. Some people want to keep him, other people don't. Victor Reis, Kusanov, Eleni, Josko Vardio. Yeah. That's 7 centre backs for 2 positions.
Well, I think a lot of them will. I mean, Max Elaine will sell him. He's not going to be. He's not staying. The Diaz agenda. I think Victor Hayes will go on loan again, and I do think Nathan Ake would go. I see value in keeping him as a 5th choice, but I think he wants to play.
Do you?
Well, you say you want experience. A lot of people are crying about experience, so I hear that on I hear that on cross channels. Like I hear it on podcasts, I hear it on channels, I hear it on a lot of stuff. People are scared of the experience factor. So Ake does offer experience, but if you want, I wouldn't play him as a main player. That's the thing.
It's rubbish. Why we keep coming back to this experience and proven nonsense? What can you do on the pitch? You cannot rely on Nathan Ake for the past 3 seasons. You're going to keep him again to do what? It is just a waste of time when we could have bedded in a new centre back. Get Reese into the club. Thank you, Ake, for the time, and move on. Everything that Matthias has spoken about today boils down to sentiment post-treble. We have seen the signs of these players. Some of these players get them out a year earlier than a year or two too late, and that's what we have done. It is obvious that Diaz is surplus requirements now. We are going to keep him forward to organize the back line. Right? He's our supervisor, a foreman. He's just there to organize it. Let the younger players get the experience. Diaz has done what he has needed to do at Manchester City already. His time is over. It's just simple as that. There's no hate. It's nothing personal. His time at the club has come. Thank you for your service. Move on. Bernardo Silva, the same thing. These players have run their race and it is over. We keep clutching and clinging on to these players. And when the results go sideways, we start to blame players that don't get enough minutes. Right?
Yeah,
we're
that's true.
Here wasting money on midfielders. We have 2 midfielders playing at fullback. Those 2 midfielders can be used as number 8s. They have pace, they have height, they can tackle, they can pass forward, they can shoot.
Physicality too.
They have physicality. Why the hell are we going into wasting so much money now?
We need physical midfielders. That's just the Prem these days. Every team has physical midfielders.
Not only physical midfielders, quality and pace. One of the most important things we need in the team is pace. Rodri no longer has pace. Rodri is another player that is surplus to requirements. It's not a hate on Rodri. I don't want to hear anything about his Ballon d'Or. That is gone. Who is Rodri here and now? Rodri wants to go somewhere, and you can't blame him where it is less physical. And he's not going to be spammed out every match, even when he is on his last knees.
Yeah. We watched one game of Mateus Fernandez. I never heard that name until 2 weeks ago.
I've been told.
No City fan was talking about him until 2 weeks ago.
I've been told he's sitting on a contract for months, Rodri, not signing it.
Yeah, I've heard that too. One thing I wanted to bring back about the center backs was
at the end of the day, right? I think the club needs to make a decision, right? If you don't want to match the wage that he wants to, and you feel like it is fifth in terms of his decision whether to stay or to go is 50-50. He's got 2 years left or 1 year left. Is it 1 or
1 year? Yeah. This time next year he's free.
Right. Okay. So you see, he's got all in 1 year. Then we need to cash in on him. If you don't want to match the wage that he wants, right? There's no point of you dilly-dallying. Drag all that conversation for the entire season. It's not healthy for the fan base. It's not healthy for the Maresca new manager. Do you know what I mean? Because you wanna give Maresca the players that are 100% committed to Manchester City Football Club, not just for 1 year, but for the next 3-4 years. If Rodri does not, like, it is a 50-50. If Rodri wants to stay and he agreed the wage that you want to give to him, cool. Give him the wage, bring you away, he stays. But if you don't want to match up the wage that he wants and these agents asking for, sell him. It's very simple. Sell it and move it on. Listen, announce it pre-season, whatever you want to do. We're going to be there. Say Rodri's goodbye. Whatever. We do all that crap that we need to do. Launch a movie trailer, 5 minutes trailer about Rodri, and we move on. Because there is no point of us going back and forth if we don't want to pay his wages or if he doesn't want to stay. It is a madness, honestly.
It's loyalty.
It is not loyalty, Patrick. It's madness.
Real quick, I got one thing to say about Victor Hayes. I don't think there's value to him sitting on our bench. I would just send him out on loan. There's been a lot of talk of sending him to a Prem team. I would think about sending him to Ligue 1 to play for Estac Trois, who are in Ligue 1 this season. They got promoted because Ligue 1 is very physical and his body is still very young and he probably needs to get used to a more physical game before coming into the Prem. So about him, I would definitely keep him. I would put him on loan though, because I just don't think. I think he's at the age where he needs to be playing, and we could force Estac Trois to play him. So I would, for him, I would definitely put him on loan. Yeah, and Jake Fish agrees with me. Put him on loan because he needs to be playing games, and we forced Girona to play him. We can force Estac Trois to play him as well. And like I said, I think because the French league is very technical and it's also very physical, so I think that would really benefit him to play every day in a league like that, or a Prem team. Send him to Bournemouth, send him to Brighton, a team that's high in possession, and just get him on loan, and then move Diaz on next summer, and then I would and then replace Diaz with Victor Hayes. That's what I would do.
Is he with Brazil?
Is what?
Is he with Brazil? Is he with Brazil?
I don't think he is. No. I think he's just too young. I know he's gotten called up with Brazil, but I don't think he's playing in the World Cup.
Yeah, the thing is, we've got listen. The Foden's contract, we apparently is done, but it hasn't been announced. So we just
done like a month ago or 2 months. Yeah, it was a long time. So I also heard the wages didn't go up that much, like maybe a tiny bit. But like I've heard it's not $300K a week. I heard like he was on 220 and it's like 225 or something. Like it's very minimal.
225 already. But Foden had a year left, right? 2027.
He had 2 years left.
Same as Rodri, but he got a new deal, which he probably going to be announced soon.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So then we've got Rodri, Ake, Kovacic, and Jack Grealish going to the last year of their contract. So the conversation that I'm hearing on the media is that Maresca wants to give Jack Grealish another go.
To do what? He's not better than any of our wingers, and he's not a better 10 than Foden or Turkey.
But again, that's down to them. You want to give the manager what we think is irrelevant, because the manager you need to give the players. You need to give the manager the players that he wants. If he's Jack Grealish, if he turns around and say, "I want Jack Grealish in my team," then you got to stick by it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to go in a season with a new manager and the players that he wants to manage, you trying to get rid of.
I just don't think Jack can offer us anything anymore. Because the minutes are better spent on a younger player. Like
the reason why I'm saying that is because we went to a last season, the season just finished, with the players that Pep didn't want or didn't we trust them, i.e. Nico J, Marmoush, yada yada yada, yeah, and we saw what happened.
The irony was we played our best football with Nico G, and people are they just discredit him and say he's shit. They judge him off the Everton game. He was carrying us in the first half of the season when Rodri kept getting injured, and people are just
the truth is Rodri, since he came back, has caused us to lose many points. It's just as simple as that.
Thank you.
You can't blame Rodri because Rodri was forced into the team as we suspected he would have been, and he has been playing minutes upon minutes upon minutes. So the manager sacrificed the league so that his favorite can play. Right? So we can't blame Nico G.
He needed a pivot. Rodri needed a pivot post injury, and Pep doesn't play with a pivot.
I disagree with Prophet, and I'll tell you why. I think we've seen when Rodri came back, we saw a few the spells of in his quality. The quality was still there.
Yeah, the cup final, the Carabao Cup final, he was absolutely motoring them down.
Like you could see what Rodri was about. He was getting back to his best. But the problem is when you have
how many minutes?
Well, the problem is when you have a player that's been out for so long, and then you are playing him 90 minutes, and you ask him to do what he was doing before the injury, is a suicide. When you've got a player that has been out for so long, you kind of need to add a bit of protection next to him.
Thank you.
People were saying, "Oh, Bernardo was there." Bernardo Silva was not doing that.
No.
Just because you run around a lot, oh my God, I'm running a lot, doesn't mean you're doing anything.
He did, yeah. If we had put a bigger body next to Rodri, I think we would have not dropped as many points.
Because you could see the game in Rodri when Rodri came back, right? He was going everywhere on the pitch. He was overlapping with Nunes sometimes. You know what I mean? He was playing with Doku at times. He was moving to the left, right winger. So he was doing the things that he wants to do on the pitch. He wants to be involved in every phase. But at the same time, you kind of have to have a player that is more defensive minded, because we were hitting transition and there was no one in that midfield to stop it. Oh, Bernardo was in that.
The only time we didn't look terrible on transition is when Nico G was playing.
He wasn't
Nico
there.
G and Rodri needed to play together. And somebody was saying, they said, oh, well, it didn't work in the Spurs game. That was 30 minutes and the game was already over at that point. So that to me is not enough. You needed the legs and you didn't give it to him. And we got cooked for it.
Because
simple question, guy.
In 2026, Bernardo Silva was not the legs. He just wasn't.
Hold on. Simple question. Simple question, guys. I want to ask you a simple question. When Nico G bedded in and was playing, were we interested in giving him a pivot? Did he have a pivot?
No.
So why do we want to give Rodri a pivot? It simply means Rodri was just not up to it. The simple course of action was to bed. When Rodri came back, he came back and played 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and looked mint. That is how we should have progressed with Rodri. Nico G started, and when he started to wilt, we put in Rodri for 25, 30 minutes where he can go full tilt and still balance the team. Instead, the manager did the complete opposite and sank the season. We don't need to get anybody to play with Rodri. It's either you can play the position, if you're not fit enough or no longer up to it, we'll move you on. Because Nico G didn't need anyone. Rodri should have come on as a sub until he got up to scratch, would have been in a better position. But this thing of the manager just does not rate Nico G, because everybody knows that if Kovacic was fit, he wouldn't have played. And guess what would have happened? Would have fell out of the title race long before. It all boils down to post-treble pep and post-treble sentimentality has left the club looking and acting like Manchester United. Trying to splash cash all over the place, lots of confusion, redundant players. We need to get back Grealish. We can use Etchberry. Why not bet in Etchberry? He can play 10. He can play on the wing. If
wants to go back to Argentina, he's not good enough for City.
Come on.
No, but the thing is, no, it's not a matter of that. If you are getting dicked around, and what we don't realize is happening as well is that other younger players are looking at how City are treating the talent. And based on how we're treating the talent, you're going to have more reluctance of talent trying to come here. Because I am not going to come here and then I'm going to be all over the place and cannot get a chance. Right? So why would they come here? The CFA can't even get a chance. I hear that we're looking to buy back Morgan Rogers for how much money? We have talent in the CFA.
Morgan Rogers, Jack, Turkey, Foden, you have, and Echeverry, you have 5'10s. Why would you do that?
No, I'm just giving you an example. Why would Echeverry want to stay? Why would young players want to stay here when they know that you're not going to get the chance?
I think the thing is, throughout this, especially in the second half of the season, one of the things that was our downfall was the chopping changes. Changing in the midfield
again to force his
changing the
favorites in,
tactics.
who
Right.
weren't good enough
So
anymore.
there was a point in the second half of the season where we had a back line where we had Eight Nude as a left back, and he was playing there. He was playing well for a number of games, and we had O'Reilly midfield alongside Rodri, and then Bernardo. But at the same time, during that period, we lacked creativity. So we were
Turkey
like,
was on the bench.
we need to put Czech in the 10. We need to give Czech on the bench. When the manager started looking at, because people see Pep see what's going on online, right? So when Pep like, I need to, if you guys want me to bring Czech in that midfield or in the 10, that means I have to take 8. So in his head, right, I'm gonna bring Czech in midfield, but I have to take out Nude out the team and put Riley back at left back because I cannot sacrifice Roger Bernardo. Roger was the DM, but I cannot sacrifice Bernardo of that midfield. So what he done was
anything.
8 was back on the bench despite him playing well. So 8
and that is where the league got lost because we invested in his favorite instead of what is best for the club.
Because let's face it, O'Reilly was doing a lot of defensive work alongside Roger at the time.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
But then he was like, okay, I can't drop Bernardo out of the team because he's my captain. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the formation again. I'm going to put 8 Nude on the bench, O'Reilly back and left back. Then I'm going to bring on Cherky to play alongside Bernardo and Rodri. Do you know what I mean? So all of these changes, because he could not drop the captain.
Who wasn't offering anything.
And that is on the manager. But everybody sees that if you
West Ham, those are games you can't drop points in, and we did it because we couldn't score enough goals because the team out there was not creative enough.
There are games where Bernardo Silva is very important. Let's face it, there are games where Bernardo, but there are certain games where you don't need him.
You don't need him against low blocks.
Especially
he doesn't offer anything against a low block.
Especially lower block teams like West Ham. West Ham was crying out for a Czech and Foden in the midfield. To break down.
But Pep told us that Turkey and Doku cannot play on the same team. And I remember when City was cooking before January 2026, the team had Turkey, Foden, and Doku. That's when we looked at our best. And then come the new year, the manager, Nico G, and the manager is coming to tell us that the issue is why Turkey and Doku cannot be on the same pitch. And then afterwards, we started to see Turkey and Doku on the pitch. We started to get results. And then I'm saying to myself, the fan base is out of their mind. They were agreeing, as cult members agree, yes, though Turkey cannot start because, him and this and Pep said, and then yet still, we only got better when we put Turkey and Doku. Turkey, Doku, and Foden can play on the same team. The problem is, it means that Bernardo Silva has to go aside, and he's not having that. So it's simple. The season was sacrificed because of stubbornness and sentimentality from the man in charge.
A very winnable league too. It might not be as winnable next season. It was very winnable this season, and we intentionally decided not to do it. It's very frustrating.
Like we did play in the first half of the season. Then you have to play 2 defensive-minded midfielding behind them because just to compensate. Because Czech doesn't trot back. Let's face it, Czech doesn't run back.
Put O'Reilly in midfield. Put whatever the changes they need to make.
We can go with O'Reilly, Nico G, or with O'Reilly and Rodri and beat the defensive mind. But the problem is, Pep looked at their 8 in a different way. Pep's 8 needs to be either someone needs to be a box crasher, and the other one just needs like the other one was the guy. Remember when we had Gundo? Gundo was like controlling the tempo of the game, and he was a box crasher. Then you have.
But we need to stop doing that, Matthias. Gundo is not here. We don't have a player like Gundo. Use what you have.
Nico O'Reilly can do that role.
Prophet. That's
He's
the thing.
literally doing it from the fullback position. If you played a Nico pivot, that's all with those 4 in front, with Holland, Foden, Turkey, and Doku up front. That works.
Thank you, Chaos. And you asked for that.
That works.
Nico G.
Nico pivot. We saw it in a cup game against Newcastle, and it worked.
Yeah, he did.
He does things that
It's
work.
a very physical midfield, and it worked.
They were cooking them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it will
we
work.
saw it once,
Last
and that was
season
it.
he made
And it worked,
changes.
and we never saw it again.
The problem is the manager's mindset. Last season he made changes and it worked. The man put Jack Grealish in midfield, the best we've looked all season. The very next game against Juventus in the UCL, he put back Jack on the wing and put in his favorites, Gundo and Silva. And we got Juventus run us to a wreck. Why? The thing is simply this. The man has the solutions, but he has gotten to a stage in his career where he became sentimental. All we're asking for now is let us put sentiment aside and get back to being ruthless, because we gave away 2 titles as far as I'm concerned. We gave a gift to Slot and we gave a gift to Arteta. Next season, the Zerbi is looking to put money together to do something with Spurs. Iriola has gone to Liverpool and we know what kind of game he can play. If he can manage the pressure of a big club, let us see. Things are not going to be looking so easy, I imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, but based on what I'm seeing now, why are we holding on to the sentiment? If Roger doesn't want to be here, movement. Anderson is too expensive, we have options. Get the ball rolling and give the manager what he wants. And if he screws that up, that's on him, because he got most of what he wanted. He didn't know what to do. But at this stage, the squad is all over the place.
I think the decision that has
You can learn though, Jay Fresh. He's 21.
The decisions have to be
You'll learn by
made.
playing.
The decisions have to be made before. The problem is, I know we've got the World Cup, which is probably going to be June, July, but decisions have to be made before the World Cup ends, because we needed to know, right? We need to know, because let's face it, when the World Cup finished, we only got 3 weeks for the Premier League to start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then we're going to pre-season. Whatnot. I don't know how the pre-season is going to work, but in that pre-season, we have to have the signings in place.
They won't though. They won't be here because they're required to take time off. And if these signings are making deep runs into the World Cup, they're like actually required by FIFA
No.
to take
When I say have to have the sign in place, they have to be signed. Whether they go on a holiday afterwards is a complete conversation, but they need to be signed. Do you know? It's not like the World Cup. We're going to pre-season and we're still in negotiation, lurking, monitoring, flirting, all these crap words that you guys used, right? When we got into pre-season, we're probably going to have 2 weeks until the Premier League starts. So we have to have here we go there and there. You have to have here we go in the right back. Here we go in the wrong midfield. You know what I mean? So, listen, but I think the priority this season is going to be either look at the squad that we have, look at the players that are currently under contract, whether it's 1 year or 2 years, and then make a decision on them. You're on mute, bro.
And the players are going to make the decision too.
Wait, I'm confused. I've been listening to the guys, not talking over each other, having a conversation. I'm confused. It says people are talking over each other. I'm like, no, people are having a conversation. Does that make sense? There's a comment. Check this.
Oh, you mean this comment? Wait.
Yeah. You guys.
This one.
Yeah. They have a conversation. I'm kidding.
Apparently it's what we do.
Yeah.
I know that I'm guilty of this. My bad.
It's the negative channel. No. Look at them being so negative again.
You guys.
Mateus is a bad influence.
Conversation.
Oh man. Listen. I think the club. Yeah. I think before we sign in anyone, we need to be very careful. That's why the club is not paying 120 million to Forest to sign Anderson, and I don't want the club to do that.
I want.
Yeah, because it's not worth it. We wasting money on that. Listen, he might be a good player, but at this right moment in time, there are players out there that is going to cost less money, and then they can be they're even better technically than Anderson. Mamadou Sangare is a proper midfielder. He can beat press like with his technicality. He's good on the ball. He's technically gifted, and he can beat the press.
He's not English though.
He's a bowler. You can either get that 120 million if you want to buy two midfielder, get Mateus Fernandes from West Ham and get Mamadou Sangare alongside him.
Well, we have a problem at the club. We don't have enough English players, and unfortunately, there are quotas we have to fill.
Get Wharton or Alex
we have to overpay because there's not a lot of good English players, and none of them want to come here. They don't want to sit on a bench to like old decrepit players who keep getting forced in. So unfortunately, we have to start. We're gonna have to overpay for some English players or homegrown because they're just. We have. I think we have 4 for next season.
What do you mean we have 4? We only lost John Stones.
Yeah, and all we're gonna have next season under contract is Phil Foden, Nico O'Reilly.
John Stones was replaced with
Mark Gahey and Antoine Semenyo. Because Lewis is gonna leave. Ake is homegrown. He's gonna leave. It sounds like.
So you've got
Trafford wants to go. Like all these players want to go. And
you've got Jack Grealish.
That would be the only reason to bring him back, honestly, because I don't think he offers us any skill set.
Right. I was told that Trafford. I was told the way the whole Phantom Semilla is doing. Oh, Maresca style of play. Trafford's going to stay. Why is it Trafford's going when the whole narrative on social media is that Maresca fancies Trafford over Donnarumma?
Flip-flops.
Because who's buying Donnarumma?
So. It does not matter. So if Maresca trusts Trafford over Donnarumma, that means Trafford's staying, right?
Well, Donnarumma will never be benched, not with those wages. That would cause the biggest stink in the dressing room, and you're not going to go into a rebuild with post Pep with a stinky dressing room.
Well, you've got Foden on the bench on the massive wage.
How do we know Foden's going to be on the bench?
Marmoush is on the bench.
Well, Marmoush went from like 1 million a year to like 15 million a year. I think he doesn't seem like he's complaining. He's probably going to go too, though. We keep hearing him being linked away.
Do you think Foden's going to start?
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
so one second. You've just told me that you want to buy Anderson because of the homegrown quote and whatnot. So you're gonna be spending a lot of money on Anderson, right? So you want to buy Anderson, right? Where is Foden? If Anderson is going to cost that much money, where is Foden starting?
I think he plays 2 10s. Maresca does.
Who wants to sign Anderson?
So is Anderson going to be playing in the 10?
No.
Or Anderson going to be playing in the M?
I think Foden and Turkey would be dual 10s, and Anderson will be the one who stays back.
So Rodgers gone.
I think you play a box.
Okay.
Play a box because you play the pivot, and then the one who would be benched in that scenario would be Semenyo because you can always play Turkey on the right wing who inverts in to be a 10 next to Foden. What we were doing earlier this season when we were winning games, we won 8 in a row. When we won the Bernabeu, when we beat Liverpool, when we beat Sunderland, when we beat Bournemouth, and we absolutely destroyed them. We beat Crystal Palace at Selhurst too, so that worked.
What position does Anderson play?
It was kind of a pivot, but if you had a pivot, if Rodri's here and you played Anderson and Rodri, that's a really solid pivot. It's defensively sound. It can run. And Anderson can do the running. Rodri can just focus on the build. Rodri would be more the 8 in that scenario. He wouldn't be
Question
the 6.
for you, Kels.
But you're confusing yourself, Kel, because you've just said, right, Rodri and Anderson will be playing a double pivot. So that means Foden's not playing because you have Cherki and Semenyo and Doku.
No, I would have Semenyo on the bench. I would be playing Cherki as the winger who inverts next to Foden as the 10, like we were doing earlier this season. I don't know if Maresca plays that way, so maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I'm looking at it. The front 6 would be Anderson, Rodri, Doku, Cherki, Foden, and Haaland. That's what that would be my front 6, and then you'd have a back 4 who also contributes. But that's what I'm looking at in my head. Again, I don't know if Maresca plays that way, but
right,
that's what I would do in my head.
Right? Do you know why? Do you know why the likes of Semenyo and Gahey came to Man City in January? Right, one of the reasons is because forget the massive wages. Is because they were guaranteed starters, or they were guaranteed game time in the team, right? When you look at Semenyo had been, Liverpool was after him, right? Liverpool was after him. Arsenal was after him because he was an Arsenal fan, right? So he had to have guarantees that he would be starting games for Man City. Otherwise, he would not come. Same with Guehi. Guehi was nearly gone to Liverpool. So the reason why people say, "Oh, why is Guehi starting every game?" is because he was told that he would be starting. He would not be a bench player. Because otherwise, Guehi, if to be a bench player, Guehi would never come to Man City. He would go to Liverpool, where he would be main man alongside Van Dijk and whatever.
Oh, Liverpool wouldn't pay the fee for him, so that's why he didn't go to Liverpool.
So Semenyo will not be benched. It's just as simple as that. Semenyo, we didn't come to Man City to be a bench player.
I know Maresca favors technicality, and the only player you can really get away with that and not care if they're not technical is Erling Haaland, because he's so fucking good at what he does. I don't think Semenyo has the same grace. I'm just going to say that. I don't think he's going to get the same things afforded to him. Because we've seen it. In games he doesn't score, he's not offering a whole lot.
That's
I'm not saying, again, we're also going to have a shit ton of games next season. Also, Doku does get injured a lot, so there's a bunch of minutes opened up. Haaland's probably going to need some rest. Semenyo can be your backup striker. I still think Semenyo will play a lot. But
I cannot see. I cannot see where Foden plays.
I think we're gonna be much better if we play our best football when Foden plays. So I definitely, if I'm this team, I look at that and I think he's the guy I need. And just because I think a new manager will probably do Foden very well. Yeah. Foden helped carry us to a title 2 years ago. People just Foden was cooking this year when he was playing. Remember when he was playing as the 10 and Turkey was the right wing and Doku was the left wing. Foden was cooking. He scored a shit ton of goals. He's still our second leading scorer from that. Like people just forget that, and the problem was Pep changed to what was working. He changed it to what was working to slow it down to accommodate his older players, and we lost a winnable league because of that. So. That was that. I'm trying to move on from that. Like, I still believe I must be the only person in the fan base who still believes in Phil Foden because I know how good he is. He was good last season. He literally was, and people just dismiss that. And I'm annoyed with it because I think he's a good player. He scores goals. We don't score goals anymore. This team, it feels like. Right.
The thing is, like
20 DNA on a shit season. That's not bad.
The problem is not scoring goals. You can score goals in 10. We can score 20 goals. We can score 12 goals in 10 games. But the problem is the season is not 10 games. It's about consistency throughout the season.
But that's Pep. It was Pep. He used to take him out.
I kind of agree to a point where I think Pep also has to do with the Foden struggle the last season because of the position. He was chopping and change the position. Against Napoli, he put him on the wing, and when we played Napoli at home, then I think was Crystal Palace where he started playing right wing. It was just a mess.
No, at Palace he had to play left wing because remember Doku got injured.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Once Doku got injured, that's when Foden fell off a cliff because he got moved around and he wasn't able to continue. His form dropped. But it was literally up until Doku got injured, Foden was cooking. He looked like Foden again.
You're right.
In what position?
The manager moved around. The manager's gone. So So I want to see what Foden looks like under a new manager who's gonna.
But what position does Foden play?
We don't know.
What position?
We don't know.
So Foden has been auditioning for every position in Manchester City since almost a decade, and we can't pinpoint what position the man can play to be playing there consistently. I knew where Iniesta played. I know where Xavi played. I know where Pirlo played. I know where Yaya Toure played. David Silva, I could go on until the cows come home. 8 years, and I cannot tell you where Phil Foden should be playing. Phil Foden is a midfielder. He recently came on in a game as a substitute and looked good. I hear Pep talking about was playing as DM. This is the confusion that the man has. Why don't we make things Going forward, since Pep is no longer here, going forward, let the club go back to basics. This man strength is here.
Yeah, new
We
manager.
platform him to play to his strengths. Hold on, we platform the players to play to their strengths. If they're not good enough in that position, we'll move you on. No more, we're gonna convert you to this or convert you to that because I'm sure we have enough talent, enough money, enough
It wasn't
players.
just Foden, Prophet.
The manager who was moving Foden
It wasn't
around is
just Foden.
gone.
I think it
You don't
was.
have to
There
worry
was,
about that anymore. He's gone.
there was quite a lot of players struggling throughout the season, and then when it happened last season, the season before, and then when you see players struggling, it's either they get getting too much information in what to do on the football pitch, or they're just being given a task that doesn't suit them.
Simplicity.
mean?
So that's what I'm asking for. Next
Because-
manager,
Big up,
give us
Rose.
some simplicity, right? Simplify the game and use the players accordingly. We got a lot of
And
success
play
with the
them in
going
the right
around and
position
coming
as well.
around.
Play them in the
Play
right
that,
position.
yes. Pep did what he did. He got the success, but in the last few years, we have seen certain things happening. His era is over now. I want the club to go back to right winger is a right winger. If he's not good enough there, goodbye, or you hit the bench. You're a midfield, you're a DM, you're not good enough as a DM. You have been platformed to play as a DM and you're trash. It happens in football. We move you on. Enough of this inverted distance midfielder, attacking midfielder playing as a full back, and I have a dream of playing 11 midfielders on the pitch and all of this nonsense.
We don't have to, again, that's over. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Maresca has a more setup, assuming he ever signs. I don't know what the hell's
We
going on
shall
there.
see.
He has a more setup thing. The only thing he plays around with on the inverting is a fullback, not a midfielder. So, are the wingers, they don't invert. Like, he plays touchline wingers. So, do you think Antoine Semenyo is a good touchline winger?
Absolutely not. And I don't. Doku is a good touchline winner either. Doku
Honestly?
needs to have that freedom to flip in and out. If he goes
No
back to
one's gonna wanna
touchline winger
hear
with
this.
Doku, we're in problems. But let us see. We
Our best
shall see.
touchline winger
Definitely.
that nobody wants to talk about is Savino.
And
He's the only one who can hold the touchline properly. Nobody wants to have that conversation, though.
So the summer,
Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
This summer shall
What was
reveal
Bernardo's
a lot
best
of things.
position, Prophet?
What's that?
What was Bernardo's best position? What position was Bernardo?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. He was being trained as centre back. He played left back. He's everywhere. He's an everywhere man. Right? So he vacates the midfield and lets us get run through, even though he's on the pitch as a midfielder, because he has an engine and he's everywhere. He's all over the pitch. And he provides leadership. That's what he does.
Right here.
Engine for what?
Leadership.
Maresca usually plays with 2 10s in attack. So there's room for Foden and Turkey together. Yes. We saw it last season. They were cooking together. Like, I don't know why everybody just forgot about that. Because Pep changed the system and it didn't work. It worked for the older players who were leaving. He built his team around players who were leaving. And I think that's going to pay negative dividends next season, unfortunately. But again, that's over with. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Fresh start, fresh manager. Let's see what he does. I still back Phil Foden because I've seen what he's capable of. And
I back you. I'm with Foden. Put the likes up. Put the likes up.
yeah, like this. Hit the button that looks like this.
And then don't put the pen that says.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, stop thinking about Pep. It's Maresca now. Maresca. Tijani is number 10. Me and Matthias said this man tried to play Tijani the DM. Why? It's gone. It's gone. And let's talk about
Predator, that's the point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
No, go ahead.
I think that's the point, though, is they were feeding off of each other because Turkey was also in that stretch. He was also dishing it up for for Holland. Remember the Bournemouth game? Turkey had the 2 assists to Holland in that game, and I think Doku and Foden were, because Foden was more on the left and he was more like the left 10, and Turkey was more. He came in as a right winger, yeah. And I think Doku and Foden were kind of developing some chemistry as well. So I think you can build something really special if you. Do what the new manager likes to play a pivot, get a solid pivot that where all they really have to do is defend and progress the ball forward, which, the player we're linked to, Elliot Anderson, can do that. Rodri can still do that too at a high level if he doesn't, and if he has the legs next to him to absorb some of the defensive work, then he'll look better. He'll look better with somebody next to him, I promise you. Because he can progress the ball forward. And that is still something we need. We need that with Donnarumma as our keeper, because we cannot build up from the back with Donnarumma. I'm not listening to this garbage about passes completed percentage. Watch the game with your eyes. Donnarumma, whenever Donnarumma went long, we lost the ball immediately because our players could not control the terrible passes he was doing. Even if it was technically a complete pass. Watch him pass the ball to Erling Haaland. It would hit Haaland like on his head or on his shoulder or something. And Haaland, it was such a poor pass. It was so high. He could not control the ball, and it just immediately went for a giveaway. And there was no midfielder there to capture it. So you're going to need somebody like Rodri. You're definitely going to need Vardiol for that too, to build up from the back, because that's how Maresca plays. He plays in the building up from the back. He plays in the pivot, and he plays the 2 10s. And I think, you make us the right signing or two, you keep Vardiol, then you can make it work. And I see a lot of potential in the squad. Some of the players haven't worked out. I'd still give Tijani another chance. It sounds like everybody's ready to get rid of him. If he goes, he goes. I would be sad about that. But I still think he was good. 15 GNA as when he missed half the season. Everything we've heard about Maresca suggests Donna won't work. Yeah, exactly. He can't play the way he wants to play. And also, Maresca ain't using Donnarumma. Steve told me that at Leicester, he benched the number 1 to play the number 2 because the number 2 is better with his feet out the back. So that's going to be something to watch out for sure. And we do have the better keeper for that already. But
we'll be fine.
I think Pep turned him off so badly he wants to leave. And I would hate to lose him, because speaking of homegrown, that's a homegrown player you're just looking off who actually has a skill set that you need.
You know what? People have to be careful. He might not leave. Maresca has spoken to him. He might stay. So I'm not counting that. I think
we just have to hope. Yeah, I hope Maresca got Trafford on the phone and had a long conversation with him. So
I think he's staying. He'll stay.
Yeah, look at that. Did the same thing at Chelsea. He told the keeper he was going to bench him if he kept doing that.
Yeah, he did.
All right, Prophet. I'm just muting you because you have interference. That's all there is to it. But just jump back in when you're ready.
No, he's going to use Donnarumma, because if he's stuck with Sanchez, he's going to use Donnarumma, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let us see.
Same. I think he's going to take Donnarumma.
If it gets horrible, or he finds himself in a spot, maybe he makes a change. But as it is now, it makes sense for Trafford to just move on. And we were looking at 2 young keepers that are good with their feet as an understudy. We just bring in one of those and we keep it moving. But
what muff? Steve Black. What muff? That's the guy's name.
Muff or any one of those 2, you bring in one, and we see what Donnarumma is up to. If it's still costing us big time, then we just have to bite the bullet and make a change. But as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be Donnarumma as the number 1. The money has been spent, market opportunity. So
we screwed ourselves with that
signing. We did, and we just have to work with it, right? So it's just, let us see what we can build around the keeper, if we can have some proper players, technical, that can progress the ball forward, because as decent as Nunes has been at right back, as far as I'm concerned, I'm still thinking of him as a midfielder. He's just doing a job there. Don't care what anybody says. He's just doing a job there.
Oh, Nunes will. If you play Nunes in midfield, he will cook.
Yeah, he will.
But Nunes can play in a pivot. That's what I'm saying. We're going to wait. Nunes played in a pivot all his life professionally before he came to City, and all of a sudden He couldn't cut it as a quote-unquote loan DM. He's
smart.
not intelligent enough to play in midfield. So,
yeah, but that manager who said that is gone.
Yeah, but we have the play. So that's what I'm saying. Let me see come summer. The summer is going to tell us exactly what the story is. Pre-season and going forward. How are we going to use these players? We need a right back. So we need to go into the market and get a right back.
We do need a right back, bro.
Yeah.
We already have a left back, so we get a right back. The only time we should see Nunes or O'Reilly as fullbacks is if one of those are injured and then they're the utility right back as cover. No problem, I can work with that. But we need an actual right back, a person who has been playing that position for the majority of their life. There. Once we see that coming, then we can say, okay, we're making steps to.
I'm tired. 10 years. I just want to have a team. It's right back, keeper, defender, something normal. Just give us something.
Yeah, because in UCL Prophet, Jeremy, in UCL Patrick, right? In UCL have been exposed. No matter how great we said our teams are, around 100 team, when it came to Europe, we always got exposed in Europe, right? And we have gotten even more exposed in Europe for the last 2 seasons because we just look like a Mickey Mouse team. Any team can run through us in Europe. Have we passed a run of 16 in the last 2 seasons?
No.
I think our weakness in Europe has been more down to our off the ball structure. When you look at our team, right? Listen, this season
it was always the off the ball structure, Mateus. It was always that since Pep came to the club.
We got knocked out in the first and around the 16th. Last season was in the playoff. But the problem is the way we set up or the way we are without the ball, you can get away with that in the Premier League against the Burnleys, this scrub team, because they haven't got much in the final third, or they haven't got much in their attack. But in the Champions League, where you're going up against the best of the best, or even teams that in other leagues like the Benficas, the Sporting, that can still hurt you if you're not careful, you're going to struggle. And the reason is, right, people complain, oh, the reason why we consider a lot of goals is because of Donnarumma, the shots and whatnot is because of Donnarumma. Donnarumma is responsible on our build-up when we have the ball. Cool. When we're building up from the back, if his kicking is not there, or if his passing is not there, he's responsible for that. You need to give him the stick. However, when we don't have the ball, that's not on Donnarumma. You can go back to the games against Everton, Bournemouth, yeah? Give the ball to the Bournemouth goalkeeper and tell Bournemouth to come and attack us. I can guarantee you they get bypass our first press, they run up through our midfield, and they get into our box and cause problems. Right? Because we cannot defend. Let's face it, people, we cannot defend without the ball. Brother,
we know that we can't defend without the ball. The only times it looked like we were going to do something in the Champions League is when we got a defensive structure.
The thing is,
when we lost to Real Madrid.
Let me just finish it.
Maresca did that defensive structure, just so you know, for the treble season.
Let me just finish it. The thing is, when you're going up against top side, you have to understand that there'll be moments in games, and that moments in games will be you won't have the ball and the opposition will start causing problems. You have to set up your team very disciplined without the ball, strong. Make sure don't get passed like through the middle. Make sure you chop down the channels. We don't do that. As soon as we lose the ball, we all into the press. Oh my God, let's just press it. Then when the first line of press get bypassed, the front three are not tracking back. Then it's just the midfield who's not physical enough, and then it's just the back line. And then midfield gets bypassed. You see the just back line. You see our bank of 4 against 4 attackings. Why? Because you look at our midfield just trucking back. There's no organization defensively in our team. We are weak. a ball gets played over the top. We win a header, but the second duels is not there. No one is winning second duels. No one is going for that 50-50. It's poor. You can blame Donnarumma for the build-up. However, you go back and watch the Real Madrid. You can the Bournemouth, the Bordeaux Glint, and I promise you, give the ball to them 10 times and tell them to come attack us. They will score. Why? Because we are not strong defensively. We don't move as a unit. There's no defensive structure without the ball. It's because our team, as soon as they lose the ball, they're trying to press. If they don't win the ball, they get bypassed. When they sit deep, right? We don't close down people, right? We don't close down. We're not aggressive. Do you know Kusanov, yeah? He's probably the only aggressive player we have on the pitch where he doesn't let the players to breathe onto them. He tells them, I'm here. Our players, they back off. The attack comes in, they back off. The moment you realize they're already in our box because you've been backing off 15 yards. This is
but Matthias, but that has always been the case, Matthias.
Right? PSG goalkeeper is poor with his feet. Arsenal goalkeeper, it was just kicking long. Do you know what the difference between them two teams? They're very organized without the ball. 2 banks of 4 and 2 in front of them. Right. If our press doesn't work, let's sit deep, make it difficult for the opposition to break you down. We couldn't even stay without the ball for 10 minutes against Everton. This is poor.
Well, to reassure everybody, the last coach that coached us in a structure like that was Enzo Maresca when he was the assistant in the treble season. So all of you who are crying about structure, it's coming back.
The football, especially in the Champions League, is about moments. Champions League, you're playing against top opposition. They will have the ball too, and they have the quality to hurt you. It's down to you to be very disciplined without the ball. Close down the channel. Make sure you win your second balls. Win your duels. We don't do that. Real Madrid was an embarrassment. Embarrassment. And that's a poor Real Madrid side. Bordeaux Glint was an embarrassment. What are we doing here? What do we do on the fucking training ground? We're going to play Real Madrid like we play Ball.
Again, the person responsible for all that you've just ranted about is gone. And the person who's coming in was responsible for our best defensive setup that won us the trouble. So we can stop bitching about this. Let's just move on from Pep.
They do. Vitinha and John Neves, they win the duels. Do you not see John Neves
jumping? Coached to do it. Yes, Bernardo didn't do any of that, but Bernardo's gone, so we don't have to dwell on it anymore. We're linked to somebody who's going to do that. That is the problem.
You see Neves.
That's a bunch of crap. But
Neves is a midget. The amount of headers that guy goes and winner is mad.
Also, Neves wanted to come to City. It was Tiki who said no.
Bro, the manager that comes in, right? The manager that comes in, forget about in possession. Yeah, start coaching this team to actually defend. People think defend is with the ball. No, not anymore. Defend is actually make yourself difficult to break down. Make sure you win your duels, win your second balls. We've seen Kusanov, Gehi win the aerial duels, head the ball out, and no one is going for that second ball. No one. People just standing there.
That's their fault. Yeah, they're not being coached to do that. And the person who was coaching them last season is gone. They're all gone. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
It's just press. If we win the ball, cool, let's attack. If we don't win the ball, let's just hope we don't concede. This is Man City. Where is the Fernandinho in the midfield? Where's the Vincent Kompany? Where's the Zabaleta? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just laziness throughout the entire pitch. I know Pep needs to take the blame, but some of these players, they need to take responsibility on the pitch as well. And next season, I don't want to see the same crap I watched this season.
Well, I think
Because
a lot of
let's
the
believe it,
stuff that is behind all the crap from
next
last season is
season,
gone. The
I'm
players
gonna-
are gone and the
because
manager is gone. So I don't
next
think we have
season,
to
this
worry
season
about that
I was on to Pep.
as much.
Next season, if I start seeing the same laziness on the football pitch and the same crap, I'm gonna come for this all these players. Pause. Yeah.
Yes, you should. You should.
Well, I'm done now. I've spoken my piece. Gone.
Yes.
Gonna have a one.
So that's Mateus's TED Talk. Also, Jay Fresh, you're saying we can't give Enzo all this credit. I'm just rebuttaling the comment, like, because Mateus was talking about how we had no structure, but the last time we can all agree we really had a really solid defensive structure was when Maresca was Pep's assistant, which was the trouble season. The players were also doing their job too. And I think it's very clear the past 2 seasons, a lot of those players that did the job 3 years ago did not do it this year. They just weren't good enough. And some of them have left. So I'm looking forward to next season. I'm excited for the changes. I think it has gotten stale. And so, but again, a lot of the reasons for the staleness are gone. We don't have to dwell on it anymore. Let's get these new players in. We have to be patient because it's probably going to take some time to gel, but maybe you never know. Maybe it'll go by quicker, or maybe it'll just mesh brilliantly. But Jay Fresh, I'm just giving Maresca some credit because of no. I'm not saying this at all. Obviously, Pep was heavily involved in that as well. But I've been hearing on stuff. I've been hearing stuff that Maresca was heavily involved in the defensive structure of that team. So I think if people are complaining about our defensive structure, then somebody who's coming in who has a solid defensive structure as part of their principles is coming in, and that should make those people feel a little more reassured for next season. So maybe we will have a better structure and we won't leak as many goals in the middle. It's very clear we did not have that same structure the past 2 seasons, and that was after Maresca left. So yeah. So if you're somebody who's not happy with the defensive structure the last 2 seasons, then somebody coming in probably has a more solid principle on that, and you should be looking forward to that. And it should improve. And it also improve with signings, because like I've been crying about younger legs, younger, stronger, more physical legs. One thing we're talking about Yao Neves earlier. Yao Neves is also very young, so he's very physical. He's a unicorn profile. I'm crushed we didn't sign him, but we're being linked to the right kind of profile, I think. Yeah, and I think we're being linked to the players for that, Jay Fresh. I really do.
And who are you being linked with that meets that profile? Because you have what you need.
I think Elliot Anderson fixes a lot of holes in our midfield, and we're linked to him heavily. So, assuming we get that through the door, I think that would improve our team massively. I think going from a 31-year-old who's been run into the ground,
the
as
issue,
your 8, and then getting an 8 who's younger and more physical and can actually contribute, I think will help a lot.
I will say it again. For me, the issue last season was not the players. It was not the players. I'll say it 1,000 times. You had the players, just didn't play them in the right position. You're overcooking, overthinking, over elaborating, playing the God complex, and that's what you got. Listen, Arsenal should have won Arsenal should have won nothing this season. Last season, nothing. We gave them the title.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes I wonder if he did it on purpose. Because no, I'm serious. Because you think about it, right? I mean, listen, I ain't no Pep Guardiola. He's the GOAT. Fine, cool. I accept that.
Yeah.
But you go to Madrid. Hold on. Matthias, hold on.
No, he's laughing at the comment, Carl, not you.
But you go to Madrid, okay? Real Madrid, and you play Savinho instead of Schick. Right? You go to Madrid, you play Savinho. Do you think Luis Enrique goes to Madrid and plays Savinho instead of Schick?
He played well against Newcastle, though.
To be fair, that probably would have worked if he had played Nunes instead of Husanov.
Kelly, did you know the only difference?
It would have been as bad.
Did you know the only difference between the 2 Champions League finals that he won was Donnarumma? Did you know that?
Say that again.
Wait, say that again? Yeah.
The only difference between the 2 Champions League finals he won, the starting 11, between last year and this year was Donnarumma.
You mean Enrique? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Enrique.
Yes. I guess I know that. Yes.
Enrique doesn't change much. Enrique keep it simple, bro.
Simple.
Keep it simple, man. It doesn't change
Again, that the person who is overcomplicating it is gone. We don't have to keep dwelling on this.
We're not dwelling. We're just talking about the facts. And we're hoping that the new guy sticks to the facts and does what's right and plays players in the right position. And don't try to overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. The reason why you got to 100 points, Kelly, Centurions, was because you kept it simple. Everybody knew who the best 11 was. We knew it was Company, we knew it was Otamendi, it was Fernandinho, it was Delph, it was Walker, it was De Bruyne, it was David Silva, Aguero, Sterling, and Sane, and Edison. We all knew it. Now, whether they inverted or they outverted or overlapped, that's tactical games. We knew who the best 11 was. There was no overthinking, or maybe once, maybe the Liverpool game at Anfield where he played Gundogan on the right wing and tried to do something crazy. But we knew it was. The question for me is Maresca going to do the same thing? If it's Maresca, we don't know yet. Has he been approved?
But you can tell every time the lineup was announced, there was a meltdown on social media. Every game. It's like because we know what time it was as soon as the lineup drops.
How many times, Matthias, in 17-18
did we a left back playing Matthias, right wing against Bodo Glimt?
Matthias, how many times did we melt down in 17-18 about the lineup? None.
I was not on City Twitter back then. I don't remember.
None.
No, not much. No.
So what happened? That's the question everybody should be asking: is what happens over time to philosophy, to game, to what's worked best in the past? What happens?
Sentiment. That's what happened.
There we go.
Sentiment is what happened. Ruthlessness left, and it became this big science experiment. That Liverpool game that you spoke about, I think it was the quarterfinals of the UCL. I still have bad feelings about that because I could not believe the man took out Sterling to play Gundo. Why? His explanation was he wanted extra passes. I'm saying, what the hell is wrong with you? Why? And every time we had some crazy stuff, Gundo was at the center of it. The man dropped KDB to play Gundo at Spurs, if memory serves. And in the finals, we played with no DM. He came back to Gundo again. Not that we're blaming Gundo, but he has these brain farts, but it's normally in the Champions League. And what we found is that after the treble, keeping it simple,
he put Rodri back on in the second half in the Champions League final against Chelsea.
No, he put on Fernandinho, and everything went back to normal. Yeah.
So,
but the thing is this:
you're already losing. Why you putting the DM on?
But here's the thing. I would have, if he completed his tenure and didn't win the Champions League, I would have understood why. When it came to the pressure moments, he overthink it. But in the league, he was okay. What we found happening is that
simple, man. Maresca needs to keep it simple, bro. Just keep it simple. The fans will get behind you. Do you know what I mean?
I hope he does, because right now we don't have a right back. We have a left back hung out to dry. So I'm hoping that he brings everybody together and say, here's what. If you're not good in your position, you ride the bench, and if needs be, you get sold. But I am not going to try and invent any position for you or do anything. We're going back to basics. Boys and girls, we're picking a simple 11. If you're not up to it, unless there's an injury, then I can see with the mix and match. But once we have the players ready and fit for their position, you fight for it. And that's the other thing that we have been missing. There's no competition. Certain players know that if they have bad games, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 bad games, it's not a problem, because I am the manager's favorite. I know that I will be playing no matter what happens. We need to get rid of that.
I don't mind with that. I don't mind managers having players that they trust. It's part of the game. But at the same time, there's a certain limit to it. Do you know what I mean? When it's not working, you can't just stick with the same player because you trust him. Sometimes you need to try something different. And we were not doing that.
The new manager might do that.
But anyway, listen, I think we just have to wait for Maresca to come in. I just hope I hope we didn't have a World Cup. I feel like we needed to have a pre-season, see what Maresca is working behind the scenes and during the pre-season games, and the players that he's trying to play and their positions as well. But at the same time, we just need to. We just need to coach this team on how to defend, man. Because listen, you can't just. I was like, what? There was a point in this season where I sat there and I was like, and it was against Everton. I was like, what do we actually do on the training ground? Like, do we just train with the ball? And if we don't have the ball, we just hope the opposition doesn't score. Do you know what I mean? Like, even you look here, games there was like I know we won't have the ball for 90 minutes, but there were moments in a lot of games, especially against like the like Fulhams and whatnot. They were having the ball and we couldn't get the ball out of them, and then we looked like amateur at times. Against Fulham, we were 5-2, and for like for 10-15 minutes, we looked like we were playing against Barcelona from like 2010. They were passing, they were triangle passing from Fulham players. They were like bullying us at one point, and we had no answer. Do you know what I mean? And that's Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, Brighton. We haven't beat Brighton for 2 seasons. The 2 away games last season, the season before, and last season we lost 2-1, and we drew 2-2 the season before, and we drew 1-1 last season. We haven't beat Brighton for 2 years, and every time we play Brighton, they played us off the park in like most spells of the game.
Again, a lot of those players are gone that we don't have, that we're getting outrun and outbeat in a lot of those games you mentioned.
See, the thing is, someone in the comments mentioned that we can't sustain this team can only sustain 45 minutes of football. However, that statement is very true. But what you can do as a manager or as a coach is make sure you set up this team to get so they can have a good 90 minutes. I'll give you as an example. When we played Bournemouth at home, we dropped our press, we dropped deep, and we're hitting them in the break. And we done that in the first half of the season in a lot of games. That was the right structure or the right style of play for this group of players because they can't press and they can't track back. So what you do is drop a couple of yards back, tell them, right, just drop deep a little bit, tell them to attack us, and when you win the ball, let's go quick on a counter and let's hit them. We tried out at the beginning of the season, but we all know that that's not our manager's philosophy. When Roger came back, let's go back to the same football, U shape, pass, sideways. Everyone commits further forwards. If we lose the ball, we're going to get hurt. And we have no one to stop counters. And we cannot go on like that next season. I'm sorry. I genuinely, I was really glad we won the 2 cups, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. We done a cup double. We were really good in the cup. But next season, the Premier League, at the end of the day, the Premier League is the bread and butter. I like to win the Premier League again. And the Premier League is going to be hard next season, boys and girls. It's going to be very, very hard. Areola, if he gets right with Liverpool,
I think we're in the mix.
Man United is going to be a problem.
I don't think we should.
Is going to be a problem.
No, I'm not worried about United. That guy's going to get figured out.
You should be, because United
that guy's going to get figured out.
They're making the right step. But let us forget about the league a little bit, because it may be there and thereabouts. But I think we should be putting up a better. If Maresca is the one that's coming in, I think we'll put up a better fight in the UCL, because I think we'll be a little bit more defensively sound. Because based on what I've seen from Maresca, how he sets up, we'd be a little bit harder to beat, instead of we're having to hold our hands on our heads and, oh my God, what is happening here? Yeah, so I think we'll be a little bit more defensively
30 minutes
sound.
ago, nobody listened to me. Okay.
Yeah, man. That's the only thing. I don't know about the inverted fullbacks. I don't know how flexible he is with the tactics. But in terms of what I saw, in terms of defensively, right, he can put out a what would you call it, a tactic. Nothing over elaborate, but based on the team, can put out something and it would work. What is left to be seen now is what is his in-game management like? Is he like Pep, where if the tide is going against us, he's not going to make the changes. He's going to wait and wait and wait until it's too late. But defensively, yeah, I think we'd come up with something. But the rest of it is just he's coming to a big club. He's coming back to a big club. He's familiar with the players. Looks like he likes to use young players as well. Because I've been screaming from the hilltops for our talented players to get a look in, because we keep buying players and the basics they don't have. They don't even have a good first touch. And we're spending 60, 70, 80 million pounds wages off the roof for players who does not have a first touch. They have concrete boots. And we can't be wasting money like that. So Maresca or whosoever, at this point, I'll take a chimpanzee. Whosoever comes in as a manager, as long as they're keeping it simple and we can see some basic structure, then I don't have a problem. Because we're not quite sure because I think they need to pay Chelsea compensation for Maresca. I guess that should be easy enough to work out. But yeah, let's see what the story is. But I'm not really pinning my hopes on winning an EPL based on the coaches that are around now. So let us see. It's going to be a scrap, I imagine, because based on how Arteta is playing, I don't think he'll get away with another EPL title playing that kind of football. But let's see how the story goes, innit?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have the players to compete for the league, and I think it's there for the taking. I think it's very wide open. I don't. Everyone's freaking out about United. Bruno Fernandes is not going to have that kind of season again. Like, let's be real. He's not going to have a record-setting season again. He's going to drop off, and he's getting old too. So, and I think Carrick he'll get exposed because it worked for now, but how often do you see something they keep trying to persist with it and it gets figured out because managers study it and they find out how to break it down. So I'm not that worried about them. Chelsea could be interesting, but because I do rate Xabi Alonso as a manager. When you beat Bayern Munich in a title race, I'm paying attention to that. So that could be intriguing. I don't think Arteta's going to get away with. They're going to change the rules first off about the corners.
The problem is
they're not going to get away with all those goals that counted that shouldn't have counted. Those won't count next season.
But the problem is not so much the top teams. For example, right, this season we couldn't beat Brighton, we couldn't beat Spurs, and Man United we won at home, we lost away. Liverpool, we beat them back to back. Then we got the likes of Forest. Let's face it, Forest away we struggled. That was the last minute winner from Turkey, right? But at home, we couldn't beat them.
You didn't start Turkey in that game at home, remember?
Bro, come on, you can't. You don't need Turkey to beat Forest at home.
Actually, you do because of the block they play, and we did not. And that was when we had that midfield that people were bitching about, saying it didn't have creativity. Your creators are on the bench. You're struggling to break down a block. Put two and two together in that one.
At the same time, he's 17 Forest at the time.
Yeah, guess who cooked us in that game? Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White, who's apparently a scrub as well. The two of them scored.
Bro, Gibbs-White
behave yourself. We didn't get cooked by Anderson. Anderson just had a moment. For most of the game, he was missing, and he should have conceded a penalty.
Again, our midfield's slow and not good.
Okay, behave. Watch the game again and see. The man was missing from. I was wondering if he was playing. That's how bad it was. He just came up with two moments, right? The goal and then the foul on Roger in the box. But of course, you know that we're not going to get those. Whether it's at the Etihad or not, we don't really get penalties like that. It has to be. Did we get 6 penalties all year? I don't. We got any penalties.
I've also asked you this before, Prophet. In 2026, who's a better midfielder in the Prem to fit Man City? Elliot Anderson or Bernardo Silva?
None. Wharton is my pick.
Morgan Gibbs-White.
Those are Wharton's not an option. Out of those two I listed, who would you prefer in our midfield in 2026? Who plays better?
None. I'd use Mukasa.
Wow,
I'd use Mukasa or so. No man, I use Mukasa or somebody else. I'm not using. I don't need them. I already have the. But I already have their profile in the team. I don't need them. I really don't need Elliot Anderson and I really don't need Morgan Gibbs White because I have two midfielders playing fullback. So I don't need them. I wouldn't choose any of those two. The one person that I would want that provides something different.
In my opinion,
Adam Wharton.
I think O'Reilly is a better player than Anderson.
Of course he is. And he has shown that he can come up in the big games, the biggest of games, the big pressure games.
Bro.
That means something. Right. Where was Anderson in the semifinals versus Aston Villa? Both legs, nowhere to be found. These are the things that I'm talking about. That man goes missing at lengths of time and then he pops up with that tackle. Do you trust Elliot Anderson?
Of the Europa League.
Oh, I didn't watch those games. Sorry, I missed
But I watch the Forest games because I want to see the hype about Anderson. That's why I watch a game.
I think Anderson is being overhyped by this fan base. I can't lie. I don't rate him at all.
Question.
He's not trash.
Money for Anderson.
He's not trash, right? I'm not saying that Anderson is trash. But he's not 80, 90, 100 million pounds. And we already have his profile.
He's not a 100 million pound player. Sorry, he's not.
All right, I'm going to give you the difference, Kels. Adam Wharton came on in the game. We were playing Palace off the bench. And it was immediately, you saw
you said you wanted a dual winner. There you go.
Bro, James Garner at Everton probably won more against us. You know what I mean?
Underrated player. Underrated.
Winning duels winning duels against us is not hard. It's not hard because we don't win any.
Yeah, we need quality on the ball.
Progressive passing, which we need.
Progressive.
You're gonna need that without
behave yourself. Kels, Wharton came on the pitch and in that one game as a substitute, provided more forward passes and more quality passes than Elliot Anderson has played the entire season. 1 and 2 touch. The man already knows where he's going to make the pass before he receives the ball. Magical stuff. We witnessed that. Adam Wharton.
Why are there zero links between Wharton and City?
Because of sentiment. We are holding on to Rodri. Adam Wharton should have been the first name on the list. Rodri, you're not signing. Goodbye. Wharton, or we make a double play. We get Wharton and Anderson. But we only really need Wharton if you ask me. Progressive play. Haaland would love that man. Our midfielders would love that man. The wingers would love that man because once that man gets the ball, he's not going to hold on to it. Boom. Pass, first time, 1 touch, boom, 2 touch, boom. So imagine teams pressing us with Adam Wharton and he's playing amongst more quality players. These are the players 5-6 years ago we'd have been signing Adam Wharton because he fits the City profile, not this engine. We keep speaking about engine. Anytime I hear about Elliot Anderson and it's another stats thing with him. Oh, look at these passes. When you watch with the eyes, you're not seeing those passes. How often do you see those passes? Right now, Dominguez and Sangare at Forest. I rate them higher than Anderson. Anderson is high. Right? The balls that you see being played through by a Wharton or even an Angelo Stiller, you're not seeing that from Anderson. It's not a matter of hate. If we're going to get him, if we get that man for anywhere between 80, 90 or 100 million pounds, heavens forbid, and that pressure comes on him. Because he will get the pressure because when you're buying a player for that amount of money, you can't just give me an engine and tackles. What the hell is tackles, as Pep would say? What are tackles? What else does he have to offer me? He's not a 6. I can tell you that. So as a number 8, how many goals are you going to give me? Or the forward passes? I don't want you to be everywhere on the pitch because I keep hearing that same madness. He is everywhere. You're a midfielder. I don't need you to be everywhere. I need you to be doing X or Y. For that amount of money, 120 million, 100 million, for what I see Anderson providing, Nottingham Forest. I remember that Forest is a low block team. He's coming to a team that plays higher up the pitch. We may go in low block for certain periods of time, but that's not for the majority of the game. Especially when we go into Europe and he's facing, and we have seen how he fares against midfielders who keep the ball on the ground. Tielemans took him for a spin. John McGinn took him for a spin. Morgan Rogers, everybody was just taking their time carrying him around the block. When he comes up against quality, do you trust him to get the job done? I don't trust him to get the job done. I'm sorry, but I don't trust him. I can trust Wharton to get the job done because Wharton has that quality that you see in Europe. We need to move away from this engine thing.
That you said that because let's face it, if you guys want to pay 120 million to a player, and most of the positions that we face in the Premier League, they kind of lower block, you're gonna have to rely on that your record signing to put something out the bag, to give some inventive in the game, like think outside the box, bring some moment of magic. I don't see Anderson as a moment of magic player. You know what I mean?
Again, why are we not linked to Wharton then at all? Why has there been zero links to him?
That's up to scouting because even Alex Scott, watching Alex Scott playing against us, why would I choose Alex Scott over Anderson? It is simple. The team that he plays for plays a similar kind of game. They're not a low block team. They're expansive. They press high. They're high energy and they're vertical, right? He more suits us than it's like getting Gahey as a defender. He's going to look very good in a back three low block. He'll look excellent. He has come to City, made the step up. In certain games, he's looking like Bambi on ice, confused, doesn't know what he's doing. Everything is just passing him by. Remember people saying, oh, we cannot carry certain centre backs to the Bernabeu. We carried our two best leaders according to this fan base, Gahey and Diaz. And it was one of the worst defensive performances I've seen in a very, very long time versus a Real Madrid with no Mbappe and almost the entire midfield and front line out due to injury. It was rubbish. I could have told you that about
Wharton lost 7 challenges against City, the most by a single player in the Prem this entire season.
What? Did you watch the game and the influence?
Yes, I did watch
and you saw the influence. I did not even know the stats because I didn't care about the stats. I know what I saw on the pitch.
Oh, now the stats don't matter.
Wharton provided a masterclass. He was the best midfielder in that match. But as usual, oh, he lost this or lost that. Who cares? How many times did KDB lose the ball? But we saw what KDB did on the pitch. How is it that now we have moved from what we are seeing on the pitch to, this stat said this and he lost that? We know what we are seeing. Can we deny that Wharton was the best? Can we deny that Wharton was the best midfielder on the pitch that day? We should have lost that game against Crystal Palace.
Or tackle. Do you just
oh
want
my
Bernardo
God,
again?
we will.
Okay.
Wharton can work in our midfield. Wharton is not soft. Why do you keep doing that?
Physical midfielder works beautifully. That's what he has at Crystal Palace. Kamada. I think Kamada is his name. He's the one who does all the dirty work. Wharton does not.
Okay, we have O'Reilly and we have Nunez at City. So there you go.
Well, then fine. Then where's the links? I don't think City want Wharton. We would have been linked by now. They want.
And you know what's going to happen? Another team, a Liverpool or one of those teams are going to get Wharton, right? And then we're going to find ourselves in a very dark place because I can bet you a penny to a pound that when Anderson comes here,
midfield, yeah, facts.
You see, these guys can follow this win stats and tackling. We're going to see the truth, especially in the UCL. When you go to the UCL, we're going to see the truth with these players because
you're not going to see the truth with Anderson or with Wharton because he's very.
You're going to see it with hopefully.
You've been crying
about you guys get your wish.
You want to add another soft player?
Stop calling the guy soft. The man can do his thing, right?
You couldn't do it against our shit midfield.
He has done it. Wharton has proved and has shown that this is not something that is a one-off. He consistently provides the kind of passes that our front line and our midfield would love. We're going to get a Anderson. That what does he do? He wins that
You could
tackle.
do Wharton and Anderson. That would work.
Wharton Anderson, but that means Rodri has to go.
Wharton and Nico G. Nico G did a lot of the dirty work, didn't he?
But that's what I'm saying. Rodri would need to move past sentiment and move on Rodri. Why are we? This is what we are holding on to as a fan base. If Rodri goes to Barcelona or Real Madrid or Atletico, whatever, and he looks good, you see, we shouldn't have sold Rodri. Rodri, right here, right now, cannot manage. And if we are going to have to get a player to protect Rodri, we can't be doing that at the football club. Rodri has given his best. We have gotten the best of Rodri. That is the truth. We have gotten the prime years of Rodrigo. We should accept it and move forward. We got the prime years of Aguero. We accept it and move on. We got the prime years of Yaya Toure, or most of it. We accept and move on. Fernandinho, we accept and move on. Since post-treble, we have gotten the best of certain players. We hung on to Bernardo Silva. He declined so much that we sacrificed a league title so that to disrupt the balance of the midfield. We brought back Gundogan after he was finished at the club. We went back for Gundogan. Can you believe that? And paid him how many hundreds of thousands of pounds? Why is it that we are now at a stage as a big club, having won the UCL, we thought we would have kicked on. Instead, we're going backwards because we're clinging on to water. That's what we're doing. We're in the river trying to catch the water and hold on to the water with our hands. It is obvious that certain players are finished. They did what they did. We got our first Ballon d'Or. That was Rodri. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pep, the greatest coach at Manchester City, stayed 2 seasons too long, if you ask me. But thank you, thank you, thank you. They have to move on. What is this? Holding on to play. They stay and we still don't win. So we have gone 2 seasons with Pep, the greatest manager, probably ever. I don't know. We didn't win anything. 2 seasons without the league title, which we have gifted, by the way, because he chose arrogance, stubbornness, and sentiment over the club. Right? And that is just the truth. Those who don't like it, that is fine. That is just the truth of the matter. He chose stubbornness and X over the club. And we have been reaping results. The rebuild has been piss poor. The planning has been piss poor. The style and the tactics have been piss poor.
Prophet.
You.
So, Prophet. So, what's next with the wingers? What winger?
The wingers?
Yeah, the wingers, yeah.
Oh, Maresca has 2 options, right? I keep hearing, I don't know, and maybe he's adaptable. He likes the wingers to stay high and wide.
So
we see what happens with Doku when you keep him high and wide, but I don't know. Maybe he can make it work.
Xavier is going. What do you bring in?
You see, right now, who are we? All right, we're chasing Savio out the club because he was one of the scapegoats for when we are not doing well. Savio as a wide winger, I can tell you, if you have Semenyo as a wide winger, you're not getting maybe a goal here and there from Semenyo because Semenyo is really a striker or an inside forward. Yeah? So we see the attributes of Savino. A coach can work on his finishing. But if the player wants to go and is forced into go, well, everybody knows how I think about that. Let him go, or you pitch him an idea and say, here's what. I see you as pivotal to my plans as a touchline winger. You can cross, you have the tech, you have the pace. I just need a little bit more in terms of the work rate defensively, blah, blah, blah. Right? I guess we can promote Makaidu. Makaidu seems that he can play wide and inside. He can do both. But why are we going to sell a talent as Savio? Who are we going to get? I hear people talking about Yildiz. I hear people talking about Akilush. I watched Akilush when we played Monaco. I don't see the big. What is the big difference? It's not like Akilush is going to come.
He's more of a 10 anyways, so don't need him.
Oh, you mean Rogers?
Akilush is a baller. He's just more of a 10.
He's more of a 10, and we need a winger that is going to has the ability to not only go into 10, but stay wide and come in. So he needs to be versatile. Where are we going to get that?
No, sir. No,
sir. Are we?
No, Nusa is not good. If you think Savio is inconsistent, Nusa is the same way.
Yeah,
but that is the thing. We can build. We already have Savio. He has been here 2 seasons. This season has been disrupted by injury. Why on earth are we chasing him out? It was the same talk with Doku when we were telling everybody that, listen, you just pinning Doku out wide is wasting Doku. Lo and behold, we start to use Doku properly. We start to get more and more results. People starting to make the near post run, which I could have told you that we need somebody at the left midfielder to pop into the box to take advantage. Because Haaland alone in the box, we know what run he's going to make. We see an improvement. Why is it that we are so quick to dismiss the young talent? What's that?
Rose said we're winning the quad next season now that Pep's gone. Rose,
I don't know about
that's not positive. That's the first hint of not positivity I've ever heard from Rose.
Winning the quad, it's not impossible, but it depends on what we're going to do. Because if we're going to sell Savinho, who is the world-class winger? Because our fan base likes to speak about world-class. Who is that experienced world-class player that we're going to get to replace Savio because he has goals? We got Semenyo, and we see how Semenyo looks in the UCL and how he looks in certain games, especially when he's not up front. So who is this world class? You can't get Olise, so we can take our minds off that because Bayern is not like Bournemouth. They're not a selling club. And certain clubs are not going to just sell you their players because you want them and they look nice. I hear everybody talking about Yildiz. Is Juventus going to sell Yildiz? Is Juventus in the Champions League?
I like him.
No.
I like him.
He's not in Champions League.
They were in the Champions League this year.
No, man. Did they qualify for next season? I don't think so.
Didn't.
So you think they're going to sell Yildiz and they're trying to get back into the Champions League? So we already have a winger. Work with the winger. We have a young winger that looks mint. We promote him and give him some minutes. Problem solved, but we're into the mode of the new toy. What is the only issue with Savio? Finishing. When Sterling came to City, what was everything else? What was Sterling's issue when he came to City? Missing big chances. He improved, but he was still missing chances. But the point is, he got coaching and he improved. So why are we in this heat to sell Savio? He's I don't think I can. I don't think Kels wants to call any names here. But certain people saying, "Oh, he's shit." What does he do wrong? Well, his finishing is not good. All right, can we coach the finishing? What about everything else?
Too.
Yeah,
but I think otherwise he's very good. Good at tracking back. He's a good outlet. He's got pay. He's a little maybe physicality is not the greatest, but he's the kind of winger that Maresca likes. He can hold the touchline.
But he can hold the touchline. He can come in, do some man-to-man or man management. Show the boy that listen, we think you're pivotal. Your end product can improve, but you can drift into midfield and make a 10.
What's this? Savio.
I have a question. Would anyone play Doku on the right?
Doku can play on either wing.
Finding a right winger. Would anyone put because we signed him as a right winger? Would anybody consider that and then maybe going for a big boy left winger? Assuming.
But who's the big boy left winger?
There.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with Doku going on either wing because I think Doku once you give him the allowance to come on the inside, he's going to be mint. Either wing. But if we are going to put him on the right, who is going to go on the left? Who is the left winger now in the world that can produce a crosses?
Semenyo played left wing for Bournemouth. He's
but Semenyo can't beat his man. And if he doesn't have any space to work with to kick and run, you're not going to get anything from Semenyo like that.
Semenyo, I'm sorry. I love him, but no, that first touch.
Semenyo is a backup striker as far as I'm concerned. He's an inside forward backup striker. But on the wing, touchline, nobody needs to even double up on him because he doesn't have the skill set to really beat a player with skill.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Nah.
So it doesn't matter if he's on the left or right. It's just the same thing. But who are we going? All right. Let us say we put Doku on the right. Who's the left winger in the world right now that you can go out and buy?
Yeah.
Rafael Leo.
No, Leo's crap. Leal's super lazy, and he had a purple patch 3 years ago. Has been crap ever since.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about Leo since
No,
a few years ago.
no.
Dembele,
Leal's awful. We don't want him.
Dembele was bad. Redemption.
Which Dembele? PSG. Yeah, he had a shaky period, but
Yeah. Do you remember?
But do we want to take the risk on him because it's big wages? How about this? Which one of the Heskey brothers are good on the left wing? Because we have the talent, the Heskey brothers are there.
Yeah, one of them.
Because of that, we have the solution. The problem with our fan base is that we're anti-youth. I am not saying that we should pick a youth 11 because when they're reasoning with this fan base, they tend to jump to the extreme, one way or the other, right? But I'm seeing where players that we have bought to hit their ground running, when they flop, we're getting who?
I don't know.
Heskey.
Yeah, so let us promote one of the Heskies. Give him some game time. We have Makaidu on the right. Give him some game time. Let us see how they look. Because we're going to spit out another, 60, 70, $80 million. And sooner or later... Do
you want to win a title or do you want to play with the Academy kids? What do you want to do? I don't think there's room for both.
You have gone to the extreme now. I'm not saying to play all Academy kids. But if we have the talent and in my world, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
So Chaos, this American, what's his name? From Juventus.
Steven Sullivan.
No, the winger. What's his name? Hayden. The winger from Juventus, the American. He's American.
He's not a winger. On Juventus, the American on Juventus is his name is Weston McKennie.
Okay.
He's a midfielder. He used to play for Leeds United, so he's played in the Prem before, but he's not a winger. He's a midfielder.
Oh, okay.
He's their captain.
You see what's happening? Where you're straining to find a decent left winger. So why not Heskey? You're straining to find a decent. But look at the skills. We haven't won the Premier League for 2 seasons in a row, and we had experience. So what is the issue now? We had experience, and we gifted the league.
Let me see this.
So why is it that we can't incorporate the youth?
That's why I'm not buying the experience argument, because the experience lost us the league.
But they're finished. The truth is, we need young, fresh legs. I'm not telling you to get a 14 or a 15-year-old. And we keep making excuse. We bought Gehi to hit the ground running, and Gehi is making mistakes that you'd expect from Alain or Mfuni. But what do we say? Oh, Gehi has just come in since January. Give him time. Funny how that works. But our young talent, one baddish game is rubbish. Get him out of the club. This is why you shouldn't play youth. Tijani Reynolds has looked very shaky since he has come in. Can't win anything. Mukasa is more physical than him.
Well,
but what do you hear?
So Tijani's being linked away. So,
but he should. But my point is, Kes, he shouldn't have been here in the first place. If we have been doing the rebuild properly, we would have been in a better place. No, Echeverry would have had 1 season under his belt, coming off the bench, getting minutes off the bench, and then we can move him forward. Right? Now we have Diaz signed for an extra 2 years. It doesn't matter what anybody wants to say about leadership. We're not winning anything major with Ruben Diaz in the back line, because you know why? We are going to need a defender to protect Ruben Diaz. We need a defender with pace, or a right back with pace, to defend his lack of pace. Because we know that we want to play high. If we're going to play high tempo football, Ruben Diaz is no longer required at Manchester City. That is not hate or anything personal against Ruben Diaz. It's just a case that Ruben Diaz has done his bit, given his prime at Manchester City, and we are looking forward. Right? This is just as simple as that. We have so many talent, and then we're going to sell them, and then we want to buy Morgan Rogers for $100 and how much million. 4 years from now, we're going to buy. We need Mukasa and Heskey. In order to get them, they're going to be $150 million, and we had them right here.
There is this one, Joe.
Who is he?
John Dalla. What's his name?
What? Where does he play?
He's a winger.
He's a winger. Listen, preseason is coming, right? You for those we're not gifting them the games because they're academy players, right? Not because he's an academy player, we're just gonna gift him. But if he just like Nico O'Reilly, when Nico O'Reilly was coming through and I saw him in preseason and say, "Yep, this guy looks good. He just needs some minutes and some coaching and he'll be mint." Lo and behold, Nico O'Reilly has arrived. We have other players. I believe that we gave Jacob Wright the chance. Maybe he wouldn't have been a super DM, but we'd have gotten some use out of him. We have the academy there, and we are
Well,
struggling.
Well,
Use them.
wait. Me and Kels were told to stop gushing over Jacob Wright. Remember, Kels? They said we have to work glazing. So we stop glazing over Jacob Wright. Okay.
It's not glazing. It's just the truth. You have a bunch of injured players and no DM, and your youngsters at DM. Play him. Whether he will win, lose, or draw, but at least you're showing that you're willing to put the team first. But I keep hearing this nonsense. Oh, you're going to destroy the youngster's career. What happened to McAtee? Right? McAtee waited and waited and waited. And when we got the injuries, the manager didn't play him. And now we're going to hear that McAtee is rubbish. All of a sudden, no, McAtee is rubbish. And McAtee is what, 22, 23? It's simple. This is football. 24, look at that. It is simple. This is football. You either make it or you don't make it. If you're good enough, you're good enough. If not, you fall by the wayside. It's just simple as that. If you get the chance to play for City and you do some madness and mess it up, fine. You're a City product. They'll find some use for you in another team. Maybe a Premier League team, maybe overseas. But this thing about that is life. Too much mollycoddling.
Kels, is that him?
Yeah, that guy. He was on loan at Rochdale and apparently was quite good. I did talk to somebody who watches more academy football, and he says that maybe he's still very young. He's only 18, so maybe in a year or two he'd probably be ready to be our backup.
What a mouth.
Backup what?
Where's Steve Black? Ooh, what muff?
Oh, that's what muff. What about the other guy?
Oh my God.
What is his name? Charles Pierce or something? The keeper that can pass with both feet.
Prince Charles.
Forgot his name.
That's his name, Charles?
Yeah, the Charles kid. No, that kid's not in their system though. I think they're looking at him for next season backup. As they are anticipating. Shea Charles's brother. I don't know his name though, but he plays for Sheffield Wednesday, I believe. That's who he plays for.
He's still here.
Yeah, that kid. Yeah, 22. Yeah, that kid not gonna have a. Oh, Pierce Charles, is that his name? Pierce Charles.
Yeah, something of the sort. Yeah. So if Trafford goes, he's the one that we're gonna get, right?
Yeah, that's who they're looking at.
Yeah, because it's just clips, but he looks good. He has the passes and things. The next thing now is how is his shot stopping? Yeah, because you can't have one thing and don't have. Does he have decent shot stopping? So we can just get him in. At least he won't be complaining like Trafford. And if Donnarumma falls off, the manager has a built-in escape route. Saying that.
Anyways, I got to drop, so I'll let you guys finish up, but I'll talk to you later.
I'm dropping too. See you, my guys. Pick up. What a team. Jesus Christ. That's a team. That's a lot of people.
Patrick, we have the players. We just need to get organized. Right?
Yeah.
We're no longer 3 years ahead of anybody. That was the case. We were 2-3 years against the 2-3 years in front of the league. Now we have been pegged back because of our own doing. We need to get on it again. And we have the solutions. We have the solutions in-house as well. So we need to just, get the organization properly, get the coach through the door early, and just, get cracking on it. Because I'm going to tell the truth. Am I looking for super mint football? No, I'm looking for stability. A consistent way of playing, some defensive stability, and let us see how it goes. We'll see. But I can tell you this early: if the manager comes in with the hipster madness and he is experimenting and all of these things. I don't think he's going to get away with it,
He's
right?
not.
So he needs to just come in and keep it simple. Whosoever the manager is, just come in, keep it simple, play decent football, utilize what we have because we have so much talent, but everybody's just anti. If you're 21 is a problem. All of a sudden now everybody needs to be 24, 25, 26.
That is true. That is true.
Right?
Anyway, big up. Let's get to 5K subs. Let's get to 100 memberships. With the like sub, thank you, Prophet, Chaos, Mateus, and Kao. See you next time. Big up, man.
Easy.
God, let us win. Please, God. Please don't let me suffer today, God. Please. Please, God, don't let me suffer today.